Okay, so 11.1. 11.1 undermine development notes. Okay. We're going to read this with an open mind. Here, healers. Here we go. Many talents have changed position on the tree. Grievous wounds, rake, rip, and thrash. Damage increased by 10%. Typhoon CD reduced. This is the post. Already linked it earlier. Here we go. Oh, that's pretty cool. You retain the teachings bonus 5 seconds after, for 5 seconds after you shift out. Okay, from your your passive stat buff. Symbiotic relationship, new talent. So druids are gonna have a leech talent. Okay, so you're gonna be able to bond with an ally and have permanent leech basically with an ally. That's kind of insane because that means that having hots on yourself is going to be really important. If you bond with an ally, that's going to be really important for especially single target healing, just having full hots on yourself. Hastener's renewal, when a hit deals more than 12% of your max health, instantly heal for 10% of your health. Cannot occur more than once every 30 seconds. Okay, so so Druid's getting like a, not Nature's Guardian, but Monk has this. Monk has this talent. Yeah, I don't know if overhealing's gonna trigger it, so I guess we'll see. We'll see if it does. I feel like it probably wouldn't, but when's this going live? This is the next patch. This is 11.1. Regen 5%, wild growth 5%, rip, shred, swipe, bite damage reduced. Clone duration is 5 seconds. Okay, so they actually nerfed Cyclone. Cyclone is now a 5-second duration, was 6. So they actually nerfed Cyclone. I mean, I've been a Cyclone defender for a while. I think there's nothing wrong with having Cyclone. The problem is when Druids have too much healing and they're staying on top of you, or Boomkins are immortal and they're staying on top of you. And then I think the Feral design was already a problem too, which they ended up changing. That was the Honor talent that made it so when you clone, even if you clone into Grounding, you're getting the free Feral Frenzy or whatever, like the 5 combo point Feral Frenzy proc. So that's what I thought. I thought it was more of a design issue rather than clone being this bad spell. But a lot of people felt otherwise, and they actually ended up nerfing clone. So clone is now 5-second duration max instead of 6. Pretty big change, honestly. That extra second adds up. Disorienting Roar now breaks on small damage rather than any damage. Okay, so it looks like they're just going to do that for every CC, huh? Improved Nature's Cure is now learned at level 10, was a talent. So that's the strong Dispel. Okay. Damn, are they going to do that for Shamans too? So I don't have to spec into D-Curse anymore? I feel like that'd be so nice. I actually hate speccing into D-Curse. It's annoying. Mastery. Effectiveness increased by 30%. Now reduces its bonus with each additional healing over time effect. Okay, so they're buffing Mastery, but also nerfing it so you can't just mega stack 8 buffs on somebody for 90% more healing. Okay. I feel like this is a nice change. So you still get benefit from stacking, but it's not this crazy thing where you have 10 buffs and have unlimited healing. Strength channel time reduced to 5-second base, was 8. Total healing unchanged. Oh wow, that's a huge change. You're gonna have 5-second Trank, and it just heals the same amount. Okay. The Nature Swiftness now increased the healing of regrowth by 200%, was 100%. All of these changes so far that I'm reading are making me think that we're just gonna deal with Resto Druids being really annoying again, and everyone on their team is gonna be full HP the whole time. So I'm gonna, once again, open mind. We're going to read this. Repeat after me, guys. We're going to read this. And look at these notes with an open mind. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so they buffed Nature Swiftness. So Nature Swiftness for Druid already has a modifier attached to it, and it's going to be 100% instead of, or 200% instead of 100. So pretty big deal, because 200% is the amount of Soul of the Forest too, right? So all right, that's huge. Flourish now causes an initial heal effect on affected allies, split evenly. Okay. All damage reduced. Okay, so they nerfed their damage. Interesting. Well, no, because they buffed their damage above. So this is just an offset, right? Yeah, okay, so I think that's an offset because they literally buffed it. They buffed certain spell, or they buffed these talents. Okay. Okay, we go to Evoker. Oh, here we go. Someone was mentioning this the other day. So rescue now clears movement and pairing effects from you and your target. So this is a really... Oh, this is so... I actually don't like this change at all. So I feel like Evokers with Shroud, dealing with nullifying Shroud and the fact that you can rescue while silenced. So from a PvP standpoint, I think Roots are really nice. And I think there's a huge skill cap in CCing Evokers with Roots and being able to root people while they're silenced or whatever and prevent rescue. So the fact that you can just rescue now and break out of roots on both your teammates is, I find, really stupid, personally. I don't like that change at all. I feel like they're changing this because it makes Evoker feel better when your teammates are CC'd and you, like, when your teammates are rooted and you can't rescue them. So they're making the change because of that. But I feel like from a PvP standpoint, you're just removing another layer of skill when it comes to CCing Evokers. So I actually don't like that change. So that's unfortunate. Unfortunate change. Sleepwalk has a 1.7 cast time, was 1.5. Okay, so a little slower. Dream Breath now heals yourself and 5 injured allies. Was 5 injured allies. Oh, so this is a raid issue. I didn't even know this could happen. So I guess in raid, you can actually get Dream Breath to not apply to yourself. I thought it always applied to yourself. So I guess now they're changing it so that it does always apply to yourself. Okay. Dream Breath and Reversion no longer snapshot with Mastery. Instead, they will reevaluate the Mastery bonus each time they tick based on the target's current health and yours. Oh, I mean, I didn't even know this happened either. So apparently your Dream Breath was snapshotted. So if you ever Dream Breath somebody low without Mastery, it did nothing. But now it doesn't snapshot anymore. That's kind of a crazy change. I wonder how many people are getting Dream Breaths and Reversions when they don't have Mastery, and then it just heals the same. Snapshot means you're putting up buffs. You're putting up a buff or a debuff with all of your buffs, and it stays that's the same strength and scaling until it gets reapplied or removed. In Mists of Pandaria, for example, on Warlocks, you would snapshot your dots and then soul swap them around. So for 20 or 30 seconds, you would have full strength dots because you're snapshotting them around. So I guess what's happening with Evoker, which is crazy. I wonder how many people didn't know this. So I guess what's happening with Evoker is you can put up a Dream Breath or a Reversion without the buff, and it heals the same, like without your Mastery, and it heals that much. And you can put it up with your Mastery, and it'll do the same healing even when you lose the Mastery benefit. So I guess they're removing that. So that's kind of crazy. Hunter. So Hunter's going to have the same thing, right? Freezing Trap now breaks on a small damage threshold. How do we feel about that? Let's be honest. Screw this open mind crap. How do we feel about these changes? So it looks like what they're doing is they're going to make every single CC have some sort of damage threshold. Every single one. So certain CCs right now don't have that. Obviously Hex has one, but Blinding Sleet has one. But Gouge, Incap from Monk, Freezing Trap, Imprison from Demon Hunter, Disorienting Roar from Druid. These are all going to have damage thresholds now. So I would assume that it's a very low threshold. You take 100k damage, it breaks. I would assume that's what it's going to happen. Oh yeah, Sheep is going to have one as well, I guess. How do we feel about that? Damn. So, oh my god. So what I'm thinking of... Oh, Blind and Gouge too? I just had the worst thought ever. Are you not going to be able to taunt CC anymore? On Monk and like on Pally? Can you not taunt CC anymore? Like you can't taunt Sheeps. You can't taunt Traps, Incaps. I feel like that's really lame. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I feel like that's really fucking lame. Because you would have to... No, you're going to be able to death it. You're going to be able to death it because death has a higher threshold. Death does more damage than the threshold, I'm assuming. Because you can still death fear. Even when priests play the damage... Even when priests play the damage threshold for their fear, you can still death the priest fear. So I don't think you're not going to be able to death CC anymore. You're probably still going to be able to death CC, but taunting CC for monks and pallies and like warriors, like that's a really big deal, I think. I don't think people realize that function is really, really big in PvP. How does taunting a trap work? Well, let's say you're playing against a hunter or you're playing against classes that have pets in shuffle and you taunt the pet when you get trapped. Or you taunt the pet when you get fucking scattered. The pet runs over to you and melees you and it breaks your CC. But I think if they do this change, you're not going to be able to taunt pets because the damage threshold is going to be too high. Not everyone plays Undispellable Trap though. That's just not true. You don't play it every single game. And it's already hard enough to taunt traps because what players can do is they can literally spam pet attack or spam follow even if you taunt the pet and it won't attack you. But you're still capable of taunting pets, and people don't realize, and you break CC. So that's, I don't know. I don't like this change. I feel like too. Damn, I feel like this is also really lame because whenever I'm in a position where I know I'm gonna get CC'd, I immediately start stacking on my team. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna get sheeped or something. I stack on the team. I'm gonna get trapped. Let's say he's not playing Undispellable, or I'm gonna get fear spammed. And like, I'm going to stack in the orb, or I'm going to stack in the fucking D&D from DKs and try to break the CC, right? So I feel like that just eliminates this completely. Because, I mean, like I said, it depends on the threshold. It depends on how much damage it is. If it's 50k damage or something, then like, okay, fine. It'll still break. But if it's like 200k, 300k damage, which is insane, I think I'm going to be pretty upset about that. I don't think I'll be happy about that. So we'll see. We'll see how much it does. So Polymorph now breaks small amount of damage. Okay. They nerfed the health regen of Poly. Oh, here we go. Monk. Paralysis now breaks small amount of damage. We already talked about that. Dude, Monk literally just got changed. They're changing Monk again. They just changed Monk. Fucking 2 months ago. They just changed this class 2 months ago. All right. We're making several updates to Mistweaver, focus on smoothing out their healing output on varying target sizes and shifting rotational damage priority to a more intuitive space. When players should optimally use each offensive spell should be more obvious. I don't want to sound like an elitist, and I know it's going to come off that way, but is it not obvious how to do damage on Mistweaver Monk? You have literally 3 spells. Mistweaver Monk damage is, I think, 4 spells total. Unless you're PvEing and you're playing Jade Fire Stomp, that's 5. You have Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, RSK, and then you have Spinning Crane Kick. And then if you play the Lightning talent, then you're not even playing the other talent. Like, you're not even going to press the other spells. So I feel like this message here is so fried. When players should optimally use each offensive spells should be more obvious. Is it not obvious already, man? Is it not already obvious? All right. Talent, Emperor's Favor. Shalen's skipped healing is increased by 150% and its cast time is reduced by 100. Oh, holy shit. But it now only heals a single ally. Wow. That's a pretty big talent. So you're going to have a mega Shalen's Gift heal. Dude, are monks going to be insane? Yeah, so part of the reason that Conduit of the Celestial sucks is because you have a dead talent in that hero talent setup, which is your Shalen's Gift CDR talent. So now if you play this talent, this new Shalen's Gift talent, you might be able to play Conduit of the Celestials and actually benefit from the CDR. Damn. Okay. Dance of the Wind has been redesigned. Now reduces physical damage taken by 10% and an additional 10 every 4 until you receive a physical attack. Okay, so this is actually a good change, I would say. This talent is really stupid. I think everyone would agree with that. They already nerfed this to like 40% or something, but basically, monks have a talent that they're now redesigning that has a stacking dodge buff where if someone runs up and tries to stun you or something, you can just dodge the stun. You can just passively dodge the stun. So I think this is actually a good change. This talent is really stupid. The amount of times that people have dodged like my sweeps or something is unbelievable. Stupid talent. So I kind of like that. Jade Empowerment has been redesigned. Increases Crackling Jade Lightning's damage by 2,000% to its primary target and cleaves 4 additional enemies at 25%. 2,000%? Who is coming up with these numbers? How much is it now? Isn't it like 800%? Isn't it 800% right now? So right now, Crackling Jade Lightning is 800%. And they're changing it to 2,000%. Now they're changing it to 2,000%. Okay. Yeah, fuck yeah. All right. That's whatever, dude. How do you ever buff something by 2,000 and think it's okay? That's what I want to know. All right. Elon's Whisper healing increased by 100%. What's that? Isn't that the AoE from like your Manatee or something? Yeah, so while channeling Manatee, you exhale the breath of Yulon, healing up to 5 allies within 15 yards for 15,000. So they already buffed that talent, and it still sucked. Now they're buffing it again. Okay. Blackout Kick damage increased by 75%. Spinning Crane Kick increased by 30%. Jade Fire Awakening now causes Blackout Kick to cleave 2 additional enemies at 20% effectiveness was 70. Awaken Jade Fire. Your blackout kicks strike an additional 2 targets at 70% effectiveness. Yeah, dude, this is literally the talent they're talking about. They wrote the wrong name. They wrote the wrong goddamn name of the talent. Or it's a buff. Maybe it's a buff. That's why. Maybe the buff is a different name, but the talent is a different name. Invoke Chiji, the Red Crane, now causes 3 gusts of miss per target, was 1, but it only activates once per blackout kick and rushing wind kick cast. Okay, so this doesn't affect Mistweaver in PvP. Not really, but it does affect it in PvE, because assuming you're getting a lot of blackout kicks, and it's only going to proc 1. Okay. It's only going to proc when you press it, not your extra hits. Shalen's Gift talent location has been moved up to above the final talent gate and now connects with Focus Thunder. Oh, that's a pretty interesting talent. Okay. Or a pretty interesting change. So they're moving it up 1, which I would assume means it's going to go here and then connect down. I wonder what that's going to do to your tree. So if it goes here, you can actually move down. Huh. Well, we'll have to look at that. I don't know if that changes much. Okay, what's next? Conduit of the Celestials. Heart of the Jade Serpent no longer reduces the cooldown of Rising Sun Kick. Heart of the Jade Serpent now reduces the cooldown of Flying Serpent Kick. Okay, so Heart of the Jade Serpent is the Shalen's Gift talent, but it's no longer going to reduce the cooldown of RSK, and it's going to reduce the CD of Flying Serpent Kick, so Windwalker only, for whatever procs that talent for Windwalkers. I don't know what it is for Windwalkers. For Mistweaver, it's Shalen's Gift. Seal of the Crusader healing reduced by 50%. Life Force Blessing now heals 1%. That's the AoE thing. A Just Reward now has a more just reward. Its healing is increased by 140%. That's an insane change. Oh my god. I wonder if that's going to stay the same in PvP. So this buff here, we were already talking about it earlier. Whenever you Dispel on Paladin, if you play this talent, what it does is it heals the target per buff dispelled, per debuff dispelled. So if you're fighting a Shadow Priest, if you're fighting an Affliction Warlock, playing with a Mage or a Shadow Priest, if you dispel 6 buffs, 7 buffs, you get a heal for each of those. So this talent is already good. This is already a good talent in PvP, and they're buffing it by over double. That's an insane buff. That's an insane buff. Like, whenever I'm fighting Shadow Priests and stuff, this talent already does like 6% of my healing. So that's an insane change. Okay. As we talked about earlier, Blinding Light and Repentance now break on a damage threshold instead of breaking on any damage. I don't know how much it's going to be. I guess we'll find out. Holy's getting more changes again, just like Monk did, even though they just reworked Holy Pally. They just reworked them. Is Shaman going to get a rework? I guess Shaman got reworked already, right? Damn. We have nothing. Unbound Freedom. So, Blessing of Freedom increased movement speed by 30%. You gain Blessing of Freedom when cast on any target. Choice Note with Echoing Blessings. Oh, interesting. So, you can actually choose Unbound instead of Echoing. But Echoing is really good, so that's an interesting decision to make. Unending Light has been redesigned. Now causes Holy Power spent on Word of Glory to increase the healing of Light of Dawn. Light's Conviction now additionally causes Holy Shock to refund half its mana cost when cast offensively. Interesting. So you can actually Holy Shock people for damage and get a lot of mana back, because you also have Reclamation too. They reduce the mana cost of Flash of Light, but also reduce the healing, and then mega buffed Holy Light healing by 90%. Infusion of Light now increases Holy Light by 30%. Oh, okay. So that's why. So they buffed it by 90 baseline. So now Holy Light's going to just do more baseline compared to needing Infusion. Okay, so they super nerfed Flash of Light mana cost, but made it so it heals more with infusions. So it's going to heal a little bit more with Infusion. And I'm assuming that Inflorescence will make it better. It does. So Inflorescence of Sunwell now increases Flash of Light by an additional 15%. So Holy Light is more valuable to cast outside of procs. And Flash of Light is going to be more valuable overall with procs still, but do less outside of it. Like, do a good amount less outside of it. That's a kind of a weird change. Like, Flash of Light, I feel like Flash of Light already sucks, I feel like, when you don't have Infusion procs, and now it's going to suck even more. But I guess it's going to be a little better now when you have procs. Okay. Echoing Blessings now increases movement speed during Blessing of Freedom by 30%. It was 15. Okay, so not only did they give this choice note of Unbound Freedom and Echoing, but they actually buffed Echoing too. That's going to be a hard decision to make then, I feel like. Priest changes. Okay. Dude, they have so many changes for healers. What is happening? The goal of these changes is to reduce the number of cooldowns Discipline has access to and bake some of that power into other abilities. In addition, we're resolving some pain points in the talent tree and making it easier to quickly get atonements on allies by moving Overloaded with Light into a more central location. Finally, we're retheming Purge the Wicked into a shadow spell so that Twilight Equilibrium can be more consistently activated. A new talent, Divine Procession. Smite extends the duration of an active atonement by 3 seconds. This was wasn't this like their tier set or something? New talent, Inner Focus. Oh, they're bringing Inner Focus back. Flash Shield, Power Word Shield, Penance, Power Word Radiance, and Power Word Life have a 20% increased chance to critically heal. Okay, that talent seems like ass. Am I crazy? I got so excited reading Inner Focus because that's like a key Dispriest spell. And then it just says 20%. Like, is that not ass? Is that not just straight ass, dude? I was actually so excited. It's like, oh my god, Inner Focus is back. Okay. So Inner Focus is going to be a 20% crit buff. Purge the Wicked renamed to Encroaching Shadows has been updated. Now causes Shadow Word Pain to spread instead of overriding Shadow Word Pain with a new spell. Okay, so Shadow Word Pain is just going to be Shadow Word Pain instead of Purge the Wicked. Dispriest now full stacks crit. Oh, okay. Evangelism now heals all targets affected by Atonement for 4,200% spell power. Contrition has been made baseline. Oh, wow. Okay. That's kind of cool, I guess. So they're just replacing that. Penance healing now triggers Divine Aegis. Divine Aegis was not triggered by Penance, apparently. Powered Shield Absorption increased by 15%. Powered Radiance healing radius increased to 40 yards was 30. That's a nice change. The quality of life change, I would say. Luminous Barrier healing increased by 20%. That's the AoE shield, right? Instead of dome, yeah. Indemnity now increases the duration of atonement applied by shield by 4 seconds was 3. Ultimate Penitence now shields the priest for 100% of their health was 50. That's a crazy change. Smite damage increased by 25%. Shadow Word Pain damage increased by 25%. Okay, so they buffed your dot for priest and they buffed smite. Priest is getting some crazy changes. Damn. Pain and Suffering now increases the damage of Shadow Word Pain by 15/30%. Was 7/15. Wow. So they're actually making your dot more effective. I feel like that's really nice. I like that. I like when your dots do stuff on healers, personally. Like Moonfire, Flame Shock, Shadow Word Pain, even Sunfire on Druid. Powered Radiance is 560%. There's no way. So right now, Powered Radiance does 430k out of PvP combat. So we would be buffing that to do 3 million. That's got to be not accurate. That's got to be not an accurate number, right? So every time you press this ability, that's a 1.5 minute cooldown. You're gonna do 4 million healing. Oh, it's split evenly. Okay. Evangelism now heals all targets for 4,200% spell power, split among targets healed. Okay, so you're going to be able to press like Radiance into Evangelism and just mega heal people. That's kind of insane. So you're going to be able to Radiance, like reapply Atonement. You can just Radiance. Dude, Evangelism is going to do like 7 million healing split between who you heal. Okay, I mean, that talent might actually be insane. So the difference is you're going to be losing you lose the 3% passive damage reduction you get from Atonement. That's the talent you currently play. That's the choice node. That's the choice node talent with Evangelism. So that's okay. That's an insane change. That's a lot of healing, man. Void Summoner now only triggers from Mind Blast and Pen's cast. Void Summoner now reduces cooldown Shadow Fiend. Okay, so that's kind of a nerf. So I scrolled down here, and I saw the following talents have been removed. They're removing Rapture. They're removing Rapture? What the fuck? So they're removing Rapture. They're removing the Penance thing for Ulti Pen. Like the Penance gives you Ulti Pen CDR. And then they're removing the CDR from when you Flash Heal and Renew and Smite on your shield and your Penance. And they're removing freaking Rapture. Dude. Okay, well, I was going to say, reading this, I was like, wow, Priest looks insane. And then they removed Rapture. What? Okay, so Overloaded with light is in a new position. Where's that? Where's that at right now? Okay, so overloaded with light is when you ulti pen, you get a giant heal and apply atonement. So that's going to go up above the Heaven's Wrath talent they removed. Dude. They're removing Rapture. They're removing Rapture. Bro, you've had Rapture on Priest for how long? 3 expansions? 4 expansions? How long have we have Rapture? That's actually so unexpected. That's actually so unexpected. Holy shit. Okay, well. No, I know Radiance and Evangelism are huge. I'm just saying, like, I'm just shocked to see it removed. Because when I was reading it, I'm like, holy shit, Disc Priest is going to be so broken because of the new Evangelism change. But then they're removing Rapture. So Rapture's being removed, but you're also getting it replaced with a new talent that mega heals and applies atonement to everyone too. So I mean, that's all right. Oracle. Premonition now has 2 charges baseline. Divine Providence has been removed. Don't even know what that is. Divine Providence is Premonition gains an additional charge. Okay, so they're giving it 2 charges baseline. They're removing that. And then there's a new talent that replaces it, which is... Oh, holy shit! Twin Sight. 3 additional penance bolts are fired at an enemy within 40 yards when healing an ally with penance, or fired at an ally within 40 yards when damaging an enemy. Damn. So every time you penance, you're going to have both a damage and healing penance every time you press it when you play Oracle. That's actually insane. So if you penance offensively, or you're spreading your dot and you're just getting more atonement healing, you're also healing with penance when you do that. Okay, I mean, that's kind of an insane change. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like that. That's cool. Holy Priest. They have so many healer changes, bro. My mind is melting. Several talents have changed position on the talent tree. New talent, Lasting Words. Holy Words Serenity applies 12 seconds to renew. Okay, so this was a tier set before. This was a tier set from Dragonflight, and it looks like they're adding it back as a talent. So they added the tier set that just gives you renew when you Serenity. That's pretty cool. On Holy, I go Mastery, and I go Mastery Verse, and I have like 8% or 7% haste or something. Okay, so Light in the Darkness. Increase the healing done by Serenity and Sanctify by 20/40. Increases the radiance of Sanctify by 15/30. So that's a new talent. 6% of healing done with Heal, Flash Heal, and Powered Life is replicated to 4 allies within 40 yards. Okay, so you're getting some AoE healing whenever you flash. This is going to be huge, I feel like, for Archon Holy Priest, because when you're in Spirit form, you're bombing flash heals, and every Surge of Light flash heal is insane when you play Archon. So now you're just going to have, like, splash healing, too. Okay. Could be crazy. Divinity. Your healing is now increased by 10% while Apoth is active. When you activate Apoth, or Apotheosis, your next 3 heal or Prayer of Healing casts... Holy shit. Your healing is increased by 10% with Apoth. When you activate it, your next 3 heal or Prayer of Healing casts are instant and heal for 25% more. That's fucking insane. That is insane. I wonder what talent that's going to be replaced. I wonder what talent that's replacing. So whenever you Apoth, you get more CDR on your Holy Word spells. So you're going to be able to Apoth with like let's say you have 0 charges, right? Let's say you have 0 charges of Serenity. You're going to be able to Apoth, get 1 Serenity charge, and then heal 3 times in a row with instants, have 3 instant heals, and get another Serenity charge from that. That's kind of crazy, honestly. That's a pretty insane change. I wonder what talent that this is replacing. Eternal Sanctity. Your Holy Words extend the duration of Apoth by 1.5 seconds. Okay. Holy Celerity. Reduce the cooldown of your Holy Word spells by 15 seconds. Okay, so you're going to be able to play... You're going to be able to have 45-second cooldown. Oh my god. I wonder what all these talents are replacing. This is frying me. Empowered Renew. Renew reduces the cooldown of Sanctify by an additional 6 seconds and heals for 6% more when cast. But has a 12-second cooldown. Holy shit. So you're going to be able to play... You're going to be able to get 60% more Renew healing, but has a 12-second CD. I feel like this sucks. So if this talent doesn't work with the free renews you get from the other talent, maybe there's a choice node. Anytime you fight a purge, renew is going to suck. So renew is gonna actually suck if people purge. We'll see, I guess. Maybe that could be insane, actually. Voice of Harmony has been updated. Power Life now also reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Serenity. Divine Star and Halo now reduce the cooldown of Sanctify. Oh, wow. Voice of Harmony. So Voice of Harmony is the Serendipity talent that we had last expansion. They renamed it. So every time you Holy Fire, Holy Nova, Prayer of Mending, Flash Heal, Circle of Healing, you get CDR on the correlated Holy Word spell. So they're actually changing that, or sorry, they're updating that to also include Power Word Life. Damn, I wonder if Power Word Life's going to be more valuable then. So if you do play Power Word Life, you're going to get CDR on Serenity now. If you actually play that talent. That's kind of crazy. Because nobody really plays Power Word Life. It kind of sucks. Seraphic Crescendo has been redesigned and moved from PvP talents to the Holy Tree. Now reduces the cooldown of Divine Hymn by 60 seconds. Choice Note against Gales of Song. Oh, wow. That is kind of lame. Actually, maybe this is a good thing, because Holy Priest already is like stuck on talents. You play Spirit of the Redeemer every game. You play Seraphic Crescendo every game. And then you have one free talent that you either play Double Dispel, you can play Fade, you could play Holy Ward, you could play Fly in the Air, whatever, Divine Ascension. You have one free talent on Holy Priest. You have one free talent on Holy Priest. And now you're going to be able to have an extra talent. Okay. It will cast 50% slower? Wait, why? Oh, they changed it. Oh, they took away the second part. Oh. Well, that's really lame. Okay, so they actually took away... They actually mega nerfed it because they took away the... Crescendo has 3 parts. Crescendo has 3 parts to it, and they nerfed the other 2 parts. Oh, did they change hymn duration too? Wait, where? Oh, it's probably down. Okay. Okay, we're going to keep reading then. We're not going to spoil ourselves. A Gale's Song has been redesigned while channeling Divine Hymn. Place 2 stacks of Prayer Mending on up to 3 allies within its range every 1 second. Oh, that's insane. Okay. Prayerful Litany has been redesigned. Now causes the primary target of Prayer of Healing to heal for 75% more. All healing reduced by 8%. That's unlucky for Holy Priest. That's so unlucky. Holy Mending increased by 30%. This is the talent that gives you... that heals your target every time Palm bounces from them. If they have Renew on them, this got buffed. Prayer of Healing increase. Healing increase. Mana cost increase. Cast time increase. Cosmic Ripple healing got buffed. Maybe Cosmic Ripple will be not that bad then. Maybe it won't be that bad. Under 50%. Lightwell's health threshold is now 75%. Holy shit. Your Lightwell's going to heal under 75 instead of under 50. I feel like that's kind of insane because Holy Priest is weird. Like, you have so many moments where people they're not below 50. They're like at 55, 60 or so. And you desperately need healing. So that talent is, okay, so that's a crazy change. 75%. Resonant Words now also affects Power Word Life. We already talked about that. Oh, we didn't. No. Resonant Words is, so Resonant Words is the other talent. That's the Pontifex talent. So whenever you cast a Holy Word spell, you get a buff called Resonant Words that makes your next Flash Heal, or I think Prayer of Healing and Circle of Healing do more. And that is now going to affect Power Word Life. Okay, that's very... So it seems like Power Word Life might have way more value this patch. Okay. Lightweaver can now also be consumed by Prayer of Healing in addition to heal. Lightweaver now accumulates up to 4 charges, was 2. Divine Hymn channel. Okay, so here we go. Divine Hymn. Divine Hymn channel duration is now 5 seconds, was 8. Total healing unchanged. Okay, so even though they removed the Crescendo thing, Crescendo made it so it channels from, instead of 8 seconds, it's 4 seconds. Now it's going to do 5 seconds. So virtually the same amount of healing. Okay. Afterlife no longer grants a resurrection cast during Spirit of Redemption. That doesn't affect PvP. Holy Nova now reduces the cooldown of Chastise by 4 seconds. Crisis Management now increases the crit chance of Power Word Life. See, Power Word Life's just getting so many buffs. Trail of Light's healing replication is now 35%, was 25. Okay, so Trail of Light and Cosmic Ripple are going to be better. Yeah, Lightwell is going to be better now. Like, Lightwell is already kind of nice to have, but below 75% is pretty insane, I think. Apotheosis now reduced the cooldown of Holy Words. Holy Words by 200% was 300. Oh, wow. So they nerfed. I guess because there's a talent that gives you lower CDR on your Holy Word spells. They nerfed the CDR of Apoth as well. Prismatic Echoes now increase the healing of Renew by 15/30. Prismatic Echoes increase the healing of Mastery of Light. Echo of Light by 5%/10 was 612. Okay, so Prismatic Echoes right now is only a Mastery buff, but it's also gonna buff your Renew next patch. Resonant Words is now on the personal resource display. I don't even use that, so if you do use that, cool. Benediction is no longer a choice node with Holy Mending. Oh, Restitution's the revive from Spirit of Redemption. So that's going to be a choice node with Guardian Angel because they're removing Guardians of the Light. Okay. The following talents are now 1 point. I kind of like that. Okay. They're removing Pontifex too. Holy shit. Damn. Pontifex is really nice right now, so they're actually just removing that and I guess replacing it with these. Okay. Probably replacing it with this one. With Talon with Light in the Darkness, I would assume. Okay. Oracle, what did Oracle get? Twin Sight. So this is the same for Dis. So an additional 2 stacks of Prayer of Mending is placed on a second ally. Okay, so when you press Prayer of Mending on Holy Priest, you're gonna get 2 charges on an ally. Similar to how when you press Penance as Dis Priest, you're gonna get additional penance charges on either an ally or an enemy, whichever one you did not cast it on. Okay. 25% duration instead of 6. Premonition 2 charge. Okay. So, dude, Holy Priest is getting some crazy changes. Oh, here we go. Shaman. We finally reached the point of Shaman. Ghostful visuals have been updated to scale player model, have been made more transparent. Lightning Bolt has a new visual. Dude, Shamans are so back. Ancestral Guidance has been removed. Shamans are not back. Shamans are not back. Shamans are not back. Why did they fucking remove the talent? Why did they're adding visual updates and then they're just removing from one of your best talents. Dude, I feel like guidance sometimes is like 5 to 7% of my healing. That talent is just Ascendance, just buff Ascendance. Well, no, it's not just Ascendance because what you can do is you can actually use it as a separate cooldown. You can use it as a separate cooldown. So you can like Nature Swiftness. You can like unleash Nature Swiftness with Ancestral Guidance as one set of cooldowns. And then the next set of cooldowns, you can use Ascendance. Like you can trade. I can trade with NS Guidance to get big AoE healing. And then I can trade with Ascendance. But if they buff Ascendance, then sure, that's fine. But you can actually use that as two different trades. So this is unfortunate because I don't ever overlap Ascendance and Guidance. I always split them. So this is what? Is this like PvE only? I always split Ascendance and Guidance. So this change right here already fucks me. I'm getting fucked. Right here. They both serve a similar purpose and are often combined together. False. Not true at all. Completely false. PvE only. PvE only, completely false. Second, we like to bolster enhancement and elementals off-healing utility from intentional global usage while pulling back on more passive ways to restore group health. I mean, I feel like for Ellie and Enhance, you stack it. Like, Ellie and Enhance, you always press it together. Because, I mean, they're different purposes for those specs. But for Resto, I can't help but feel kind of sad because Ascendance and AG are used as 2 separate trades. Whatever, we gotta go to Resto. Our updates to Resto Shaman are focused on simplification. Okay, so before anyone freaks out, nobody freak out. AG being removed sucks, personally. I am sad. But we will read the changes. Nobody freak out just yet. Nobody freak out. Condensing keybind space and adding support to Riptide focus build. So this is a good note to read just because Shaman has so many goddamn buttons. All right. New talent, Mana Tide. Healing Tide Totem now additionally grants 80% increased mana regeneration to allies. Oh, so they're making... Okay, so they're making Mana Tide Totem. They're turning Mana Tide Totem into just a passive with Healing Tide. Okay. So this is a nerf to Totemic Shaman. Totemic Shaman gets chain heal procs when you press your water totems. So this is an indirect nerf to that. But Farseer doesn't affect you at all. Your chain heal from your ancestors fucking sucks. So hell yeah, okay. Therazane's Resilience. Earth Shield and Water Shield no longer lose charges and are 115% effective. Is this going to be a choice node with reactive warding? Because reactive warding you can't even play. Okay, so holy shit. That's kind of insane. So I would assume reading this talent here is going to go into a choice node with a reactive warden, which is this talent here, for those who don't know. Where's my OBS? So that's this talent right here. So this talent's really OP right now. This is one of the reasons that Shaman, in my opinion, is even slightly successful, because you're able to get, at least when people don't purge. When people spam purge, it sucks. But whenever you refresh Earth Shield with low stacks, especially if you're Farseer because you have 12 stacks max, you get a huge burst heal. So it's going to be on a, and your Earth Shield charges are, as you can see, they're consumed faster. So you consume charges a second faster instead of, I think there's like a 2-second delay normally. So you're going to be able to choose from that, which is your burst heal when you refresh shields, or not losing charges, so it's just a permanent buff, and they're 115% more effective. I feel like this is kind of nice. I don't know. So I feel like if you're fighting teams that purge Earth Shield a lot, that this is just going to be better because you're not going to get reactive warding healing anyways. And now at least you can just refresh Earth Shield and still have a lot of healing. I don't know. This is a really interesting talent, in my opinion. Healing Wave is now learned at level 11. Was a talent. Okay, so they're just... Okay, that's cool to see. You don't have to spec into Healing Wave anymore. Wave Speaker's Blessing now additionally increases the periodic healing of Riptide by 10/20. Wave Speaker's Blessing is the duration, right? Isn't that the Riptide duration? I don't think you even play that right now, but you would probably play that, or like try to play it maybe. Okay, so this is going to be 20% more periodic healing from Riptide. I wonder if that would be worth, like, let's see, Riptide right now. So Riptide right now heals for 40k, 30k-ish, non-crit. And that's going to get buffed to 20%. Maybe that would be worth playing. I mean, I feel like this is probably more of a PvE thing, but we'll see. Spherewalker's Tile Totem now triggers after casting Healing Tide Totem. Okay, so they're changing Mana Tide, removing it. Mana Tide doesn't exist anymore, which is an indirect nerf to Totemic Shaman. But kind of nice, in my opinion, that you don't have to press another global. So, like, now you get an extra keybind. So I'm still upset about losing AG. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not. I'm not going to pretend like I'm happy about losing AG, because in Arena, you actually split those cooldowns. You don't use AG and Ascendance together. But the fact that I'm getting another keybind is kind of nice, in my opinion. I feel like Shaman already has so many fucking buttons. Like, you're spam mashing totems all game. It's kind of annoying, to be honest. I've been complaining about that for years. I'm not a fan. I've been very critical about how Shaman feels so much like a button mashing class. I actually like this change. It's going to suck because if you want to have value from Mana Tide, people are just going to kill your Healing Tide anyways. But the nice part about this is you're going to be able to have Mana Tide more often too, because Healing Tide has a lower cooldown than Mana Tide does, right? Yeah, Mana Tide's 3-minute cooldown. Healing Tide's going to be shorter, or 2 minutes. So you're going to have a faster Mana Tide. So I actually don't mind this. I'm not going to lie. I don't really mind it. I think this Therazane's Resilience talent is kind of cool. I don't know how that's going to work, because I feel like in the matchups where you don't have to deal with Purge, you have a lot of reactive warding healing. But not having to refresh Earth Shield all the time could also be nice, because that'll give you more global suppress outside of just the typical spinning plates. So right now, Shaman and Resto Druid feels this way too. Resto Druid's also very similar. It feels like you're spinning plates. So what I mean by that is, you're spinning plates. You have 8 fucking plates up, and you're spinning all of them. And you're trying to keep everything up. You're trying to keep up all your shields. You're trying to keep up all your totems. You're trying to keep Riptide on everybody. You're trying to unleash on cooldown for your ancestors. You're trying to rotate all your cooldowns in while also using all your CC and your interrupt and your purge and all your utility. And it's honestly really annoying. It's a lot of shit to try and keep up for what feels like minimal reward. So if we're getting away from button mashing and freeing up globals to press, then I'm gonna be happy about it. So I actually think this is a cool talent. So shout out whoever decided to make this one. This is actually a really cool talent. I like this. Hopefully it's good. But I like this talent. I like the healing tide change too, to be honest with you. Downpour overrides healing rain for 8 seconds, was 6. We don't even play downpour. Starter builds an update, cool. Several times move locations. Ancestral Vigor is now a 2-point talent. Okay, so Vigor was a 2-point talent before, and then they made it a 1-point talent, but now it's going to be a 2-point talent again. And I'm guessing they removed Healing Wave, so you're just going to put your talent into that probably? You'll just put your extra talent into that, I would assume, your extra point. Well, no, because they're removing 2 talents. Does this show on PTR? Totemic, downpour now overrides certain tome. So I actually like this change personally. Well, the new talent is Mana Tide, but then they have the other one that's a choice node. So they're just removing Healing Wave. So this is changing to the other talent. This is having a choice node, and then Healing Wave is removed. So I'm guessing there's just going to be a big block in the middle, a big space in the middle of nothing, and then it goes down to Spirit Link. Because it also says that they're moving talents around. So I don't know what that means, because they're moving talents. The reason I bring this up is because I wonder if you're going to be able to not spec into... Oh no, you're going to have to always play Deluge anyways. I wonder what that's going to change, because the way the path goes... I mean, I guess we'll see when they update it. Whenever they update it, we'll see. So, we'll see when they update it. So, losing AG sucks. I feel like that's a huge HPS loss, personally. I know that's a huge HPS loss, so... AG being removed is a huge, huge HPS loss in Arena. AG always ends up being like 5 to 8% of my healing. It's a lot of spread healing that you can use as another trade. So what I mentioned earlier, you don't always press AG with Ascendance. That's like a PvE thing or something. You press AG as a separate button and a trade. So in games that I play, you'll watch, I will always Nature Swiftness. My first Nature Swiftness will always use AG. And that gives me a lot of spread healing. So that's being removed. So that's a pretty big nerf, I would say, as far as like the trades go, like the Shaman cooldown trade. But you're getting a lot more room for other globals because of the Mana Tide change and the new Earthshield talent that could potentially be good. At first glance, it's definitely a nerf, but Shaman might play out a lot smoother, I would say. Shaman might play out a lot smoother next patch than it currently does. So you're getting more globals because you're not going to have to press Mana Tide. So you're not going to have to press Mana Tide, which gives you another global. If you play this talent, like let's say this talent's really good and you can play this every now and then, or every other matchup, you're going to play this new talent, right? You're going to have more globals because of that, because you're not going to have to refresh Earthshield all the time. So these 2 talents right here free up your globals. And then, like you said, your Wave Speakers, which is not your Wave Speakers, your Spirit Walker's Totem that gives you the 3 healing surges is now going to proc off of Healing Tide. So now you just have more globals to you have more room for globals. So, and Healing Tide, because it's a shorter cooldown than Mana Tide, you're gonna have more chances to press Healing Surge because of that. So like in a shuffle, right? In a solo shuffle setting, let's just hypothetical situation. You're playing solo shuffle. Every 2 minutes, when you press Healing Tide, you're gonna have your free instant healing surges every 2 minutes instead of once a game. Because right now you press Mana Tide once a game in shuffle. Now you're gonna have 2. So now you're gonna have 6 healing surges that are instant, most likely in the solo shuffle. All right, cool. I mean, I like these 2 talents. I can't lie to you. I definitely, like I said, I don't like losing Ancestral Guidance. I feel like that's a nice spell to have that's a nice cooldown to have on Shaman, because you can use that as a different trade compared to a Link or an Ascendance. I Nature Swiftness and Guidance every time. That's my first trade usually. So I'm kind of sad about losing that. But these 2 talents that they're changing right here, these 2 talents are really cool. I like these talents. So I would say this is a W for sure. I don't know. I'm not really upset about that. Losing AG sucks, but I think these 2 talents kind of make up for it, to be honest with you. Because I do think, like they say in their notes, I think Shaman has so many buttons to press, and it's kind of just annoying. And yeah, cool. I mean, we read all the healers. Oh, wait, no! We have PvP changes. Oh my god. Thorns is redesigned, so this got the eye for an eye treatment that Pally has. Okay. Ancient of Lore. Shapeshift into an Ancient of Lore for 12 seconds, preventing all crowd control effects. Lol. Reducing damage taken by 20% and granting you access to Blossom Burst and Mass Blooming. Fuck off. Fuck off, Resto Druids. Reduced movement speed and replaces Incarnation Tree of Life 1.5 minute cooldown. Okay, so you're going to be able to shapeshift into an Ancient of Lore that prevents all CC and reduces damage taken, but it replaces tree form. I guess we'll see how that goes. So replaces tree form is the key part, obviously. It's a lower cooldown. Tree form's 3 minutes, gets lower CD with CDR from your treants expiring. If you play the extra talent, you get, whenever your treants expire, you get CDR. So it's less than 3 minutes. Blossom Burst heals an ally and applies 1 missing healing over time effect. If all of them are present, Blossom Burst heals, or critically heals. Acid Bloom heals 5 allies and applies. Okay. Forest Guardian, new PvP talent. Okay, so these are new PvP talents. That's kind of insane. Honestly, kind of cool. Like, this definitely sounds kind of OP, but Druid PvP talents suck. Like, Druid PvP talents are terrible. Let's be honest. Let's not lie to ourselves. They suck. Forest Guardian. Wrath, Starfire, Cyclone, and common point generating abilities extend the duration of your active healing over time effects by 1 second on up to 3 allies. Star Surge and combo point spending abilities increase the rate of your healing over time spells by 25%. Okay, so that's kind of a cool talent. See, that's kind of cool. So whenever you Wrath, Starfire, or Clone, or combo point, but like let's just assume you're not going into cat form. Wrath, Starfire, Clone. You extend all of your hots by a second. Kind of cool. Even though it's 1 second, kind of cool. The second part of it is nice. Whenever you Star Surge, you get faster healing over time ticks by 25%. So what's nice about this is kind of like Monk, right? Monk has Rushing Wind Kick. Whenever you Rushing Wind Kick, you do a lot of damage. You get an Ancient Teachings healing. And then you also get more Renewing Mist healing for 5 seconds or whatever. So that's kind of a similar talent. You just get more hot ticks. You get faster hot ticks after you Star Surge. So I actually think this is kind of cool because and like I said, I'm not going to sit here and complain about new talents because, especially ones like this, because I like when healers can do damage. And I think finding some way to incorporate healers pressing damage spells or CC rather than only pressing healing spells is a good thing. So I actually like this talent. I think this is really cool. Awesome. They unnerfed their mastery because they mega buffed their mastery above as well. So they unnerfed it as well in PvP. And then they redesigned their mastery. If you did not see that earlier, they changed their mastery to have a reduced effect for each hot. So you still get a lot of healing when you have a lot of hots up, but you have more of the healing increase with less hots than you do than having every single hot give 20% more or whatever. So that's kind of cool. They buff Life Bloom. Okay. They remove Focus Growth. Oh, so they remove Focus Growth, so you get a free talent from that. And Preserve Nature. Holy shit. They're removing one of the key defensives from Resto Druid, which is your Trank talent. Get fucked, Resto Druids. Get shit on. Okay, nice. I'm not going to pretend like that makes me happy. I'm not. I'm going to be very unbiased. Dude, you're going to be able to spam Sleepwalk on Evoker now. Baseline. You're going to be able to baseline get shit on by Evokers. No. Oh my god, dude. No, nobody played the talent though. You didn't really play that talent on Evoker, on Pres Evoker. On DPS Evoker you did, but on Pres Evoker you didn't really play this. I already know, Christian, what up? I already know Evokers are going to run in. I'm going to be on my Shaman or I'm going to be on my Priest. I'm going to have Evokers fly in. They're going to fly in and just spam Sleepwalk me, and because I'm playing Solo Shuffle, nobody's going to stop it. Nobody's going to stop it because I'm playing Solo Shuffle. I'm just going to get Sleepwalked 9 times. Mistweaver Monk. Okay, so this is the Celestial talent, right? Now prevents all crowd control. Cool. New PvP talent. Wait. Oh, that's insane. Now prevents all crowd control. Holy shit. So whenever you conduit of the Celestials now, with this talent, you're unCCable. So I feel like that talent is kind of crazy because I think that makes... I feel like that talent makes Conduit of the Celestials better. Obviously it does, but... So Celestial for Monk kind of sucks, even though they mega buff the healing. Because you're just casting a spell for 4 seconds, and you can also get CC during it. But they're actually changing it. Okay, so they're changing that to be no CC. That's kind of crazy. That's a crazy talent. New PP talent, Feather Feet. You may now cast while moving during lighter than air, and it now lasts 4 seconds. Okay, I don't even think you don't really play lighter than air, so that could be good for like RBGs or something. Alpha Tiger removed. Okay, so new talent. You can cast while moving with that lighter than air talent, which is in your class tree. But this one, Absolute Serenity, is kind of insane. That's a crazy talent. Crazy update. Okay. Paladin. New PvP talent, Shining Revelation. The light reveals all enemies and they're giving Paladin fucking flare? The light reveals all enemies in stealth or invisible to you while under the effects of Divine Shield. Holy fuck. Shining Revelation. The light reveals all enemies in stealth or invisible to you while under the effects of Divine Shield. That's fucking hilarious. I don't know why that's so funny, because like, if you think about it, like you read that, right? And you're like, wow, that's such a crazy change. Why would they do that? But at the end of the day, how many situations are you going to be in where a Ret Pally is going to actually kill you because he bubbles and sees you in stealth, right? Like how many, that's such a niche talent to have. But the fact that it exists makes me laugh. I can link the notes, yes. The fact that it exists makes me laugh. I don't look at this and think, wow, this is so OP, but just the fact that it even exists, I find funny. That's a pretty funny talent. All right. Oh, no, you can see me? Dude, think about all the games that Jason plays, right? Think about all the games that Pika plays where he's trying to 1v2 people at 1402s. Now, Johnny Bravo, the 1400 rated Ret Paladin in 2v2, is going to be able to see him in Vanish by pressing bubble. That's actually insane. He's going to be able to just bubble and see him in stealth. I actually can't wait for that. I can't wait for Johnny Bravo, the best Ret Paladin in the game at 1400, to bubble with this talent and see Pika in stealth and kill him. I actually can't wait. I just know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. Mark my words. Mark my words. It's December 19th, 2024, 5:36 p.m. Mountain Time. Give it a few months, man. Give it a couple months or so of this talent being in the game when the patch hits, and Pika is going to die to a Ret Paladin with this talent. I swear to God, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Luminescence got redesigned. Okay, Library's healing transfer is increased by up to 200% based on your current health. Lower health heals allies for more. Now available to Holy Paladins. Oh, wow. So Holy Pally talents also, I think Born Good can attest to this. I am Mountain Time. Yeah, Zeno, come on, man. You don't care about me at all. Holy Pally talents kind of suck in terms of your options. You have like no options on Pally. You have 0 options on Holy Pally for PvP talents. So the fact that you're getting this now is kind of cool. You're getting another one. So, oh, they're actually giving Pally Magic Bop. Holy shit. Can I get an F in the chat for WizK, guys? Guys, can I get an F in the chat for WizK? I know Wiz is going to fight a Pally next patch, and they're going to fucking Magic Bop his damage at Holy Pally, and he's actually going to be... He's going to be so fucking bad. Oh my God. Even better. They're going to Magic Bop a Ret or something. Or not a Ret, a Windwalker. They're going to Magic Bop a Windwalker Monk. And the Windwalker is just going to one-shot Wiz. Can't fear him, can't stun him. Oh my God. That's what's going to happen. You Magic Bop the Warrior, or you Magic Bop the Monk, and he's just going to die. And it's going to be the best thing ever. It's going to be the best thing ever. Okay. So, I mean, I feel like this is expected. Did anyone else not expect this? This is kind of expected. People have been wanting Magic Bop on Holy Pally for ever since they put it in the game. They put Magic Bop in the game for Prot and Ret, and every Holy Paladin is sitting there like, bro, why did I not get this? So, I wouldn't say that I knew this was going to happen, but I'm not surprised by it. I wasn't expecting, or I wasn't expecting, or not expecting. I'm not surprised. Not surprised by them having this. And then as you guys see, because you guys like to read ahead of me because you hate me, they're removing Blessed Hands. and they're removing Judgments of the Pure. So Judgments of the Pure, every time you judgment a target, you remove a debuff. You remove a debuff that they have, 1 poison, 1 magic, 1 disease, whatever, from the target that you judgment, you dispel yourself. That's getting removed. And they're also removing Blessed Hands, which is double freedom, double bop. So Blessed Hands gives you an extra charge of freedom and bop, and they're actually removing that as well. So I feel like that's a huge change because having 2 stacks of freedom is really insane on Holy Pally. So that's a crazy talent removal, in my opinion. But you also get bop and then luminescence and this new spectral sight thing. That's insane, honestly. That's a crazy change. So I think this is a huge thing to note with them removing Blessed Hands is, like we said, you don't have double bop anymore. So paladins can't just like mega hard counter melee with double bop. And you also can't hard counter melee with spamming freedom on your mage or spamming freedom on your hunter. So that's a crazy, crazy change right here, I would say, removing that talent. Priest, Archangel's been redesigned. Now I pass the spell that upgrades evangelism. Okay, so I was wondering what they were going to do with Archangel. Dark Archangel has been redesigned. Now triggers automatically when you cast Shadow Fiend or Mindbender and increases damage done. Okay, that's kind of cool. So you just free up a global. You free up a global on disc. Okay. Shadow Word Pain no longer increase. So they buff Shadow Word Pain baseline. And they remove the buff modifier. But it's still going to do more damage, I think, overall. They moved this to the tree. We saw that. Oh my god. I wanna look at more healers. I'm sorry. I got distracted. They removed Shadowy Duel. That's a W in chat. That's a W in chat. Shadowy Duel can suck my ass. That talent is so goddamn stupid. Why can I get smoke bombed and then shadowy dueled? Why is that possible that they have both? That is amazing. Get that shit out of the game. Get that shit out of the game. Don't like that fucking talent? Get that shit out of the game. That's insane. We love that. We love that. I don't care. Guys, I don't care. Sub Rogue is done for? Guys, everyone in the chat, if you're listening, if you're in the Twitch chat right now, if you're in the Twitch chat, not the YouTube, not the YouTube, not the Twitter, go into the Twitch chat and type W at Peekaboo IRL. This guy has no idea what's going on. Let him know. Let him know it's a W. Let him know it's a W. Make fun of him. This is the best change ever. Get wrecked. Get wrecked, Sub Rogue player. Oh my god, that's insane. That's insane. They actually removed Shadowy Duel. Shadowy Duel is so disgusting. I hate that. I hate that stupid ability. I hate it. Well, they added Jason, I don't know if you saw that. So blind, it's not that blind doesn't break on damage. Blind is gonna have a threshold, just like every other CC. They added a damage threshold to every CC. It's gonna be a very minor one, I would assume. Knock on wood. It's a minor damage threshold, but each one has one. Okay, moving on. Shaman Electrocute. So they buffed Electrocute damage by 100%. I feel like Electrocute right now kind of sucks. In PvP, let's see, how much does it do in PvP? In PvP, it says Electrocute does 108,000 damage over 3 seconds. So it's going to do double the damage now. So Electrocute's going to do 200k. I feel like that's not bad. That's not a bad change because Electrocute sucks. So is it OP? No. But it's definitely more valuable. So that's cool. New talent, Storm Conduit. Casting Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning reduces the cooldown of Astral Shift or Gust of Wind, Wind Shear, or Nature Totems. Bro, what the fuck? Casting Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning reduces the cooldown of Astral Shift, Gust of Wind, Wind Shear, and Nature Totems. Dude, am I gonna Lightning Bolt spam and Wind Shear people? Like, what the? That sounds so insane. That sounds so insane. I don't know if it counts nature because nature totems are earth totems, so not grounding. So they're doing like a oh my god, it's gonna reduce the CD of Earthen Wall, right? Earthen Wall is also an earth totem, a nature totem. Dude, you're gonna be able to reduce the CD of Earthen by pressing Lightning Bolt if you play this talent. Totem of Wrath now triggers from Nature Swiftness. Holy shit. Okay, so that's insane. Dude, so Totem of Wrath is the talent that is the totem that gives you more crit percentage whenever you Primordial. But I don't even play Primordial now when I play Farseer. So I'm going to be able to use it with Shaman, where I can play this and press NS with Healing Surge and drop a Totem of Wrath. That's insane. Oh my god, I wanna stop, and I wanna stop because I already read all the healers, but I have to read another hilarious change. Let's all read this together. I just glanced this. I glanced this last second before I closed it. New PvP talent. Shout out WizK right here. WizK, I hope you're listening. Berserker Roar. Go Berserk, removing and granting immunity to fear, sap, and incapacitate effects for 6 seconds. Also reduces the duration of the next crowd control effect within 15 seconds by 50% on group members. So they're giving War Banner as fucking Berserker shout. Because they're bringing back War Banner. Doesn't War Banner already exist? Are they removing that? Oh yeah, so they removed it. So they removed War Banner, but then they're adding Berserker Roar. So now you can play it as Fury. Okay, so Berserker Roar is a class talent, so you can play it as Fury now. I wonder if you would ever do that. I wonder if you would ever play that as Fury. Cool. I mean, honestly, the healer changes I kind of like. I think all the healer changes that I read honestly look really cool. And once again, Shadowy Duel being removed, awesome. I'm never going to complain about that disgusting ability. I feel like all of the healer changes are actually really cool. I kind of like all of them, to be honest with you. I'm really excited. I think I'm actually really excited for that.